Welcome into the Lorain County Sports Network Game of the Week, brought to you by Stewart's TV and Appliance. Shop smart, shop local, shop Stewart's TV and Appliance in Elyria. Dave Rivera joined alongside Max Drummond as we bring you some non-conference basketball action tonight. Boys are on the court, and it's a good one, as we have the Open Door Patriots coming to town to take on the Firelands Falcons. Open Door is 3-3. Firelands is 5-1. There are a lot of storylines in this game. This is Al Januzzi's first time returning back to Firelands, a team that he used to coach. And he's also coaching against a former player in the head coach of Colin Myers. So we'll take a break, and then we'll dive into the Coach's Corner presented by Great Lakes Basketball. Train with the best. That's Jay Valadez, a certified AAU basketball coach in Avon. We'll sit down. We'll talk to both of the head coaches, and we'll get this game, the storyline in between the hardwood. As we'll be right back. It's your Lorain County Sports Network Game of the Week. Open Door taking on Firelands. Don't go anywhere. Welcome into the Lorain County Sports Network Game of the Week live on YouTube. Tonight, it's Firelands taking on Open Door as we have the Coach's Corner brought to you by Great Lakes Basketball. Train with the best. That's Jay Valadez, a certified AAU basketball coach in Avon. Tonight, we're going to talk to the head coach of the Patriots, Mr. Alan Januzzi, giving us some time before the game tonight. Coach, you ready for this big non-conference matchup? You're back at a familiar place where you've been before.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to be here without a doubt. We haven't played Firelands in a few years, but, talked to Ty Stillman and to Colin and, took the opportunity to come here and play in the new gym. So, our guys are excited. We're excited to be here. I'm excited to coach against Colin. He played for me. And, I know the majority of the kids in the program. So it's going to be a lot of fun, But ultimately, it's kids playing a game. And, we just want it to be a great experience for all of them. Want them to compete, want them to play hard, want them to, be respectful. I think it's going to be a good basketball game.
You guys are coming off a big win. Nate Otero gets the steal and the layup to win the game for you guys. Talk about that as a momentum builder heading into tonight's matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a grinded-out game. It was our silent night. Actually, Nolan Rack buried 2 free throws with 5 seconds left to get it to a tie game. And then, we got the steal, and Nate buried the basket. So I think, obviously, when you have that situation, it does give you great energy, great momentum. The alternative, if you don't do that, you got a different psyche on your team, a different mental outlook. So we teach them, take one possession, one game at a time. What's done is done, and move forward. But you want to take the positives out of everything. So hopefully that will bring some energy to our guys early.
Some familiar names, but some new names with this Patriot team. Tell us about so far how this team has been gelling.
Well, we've got Nate Otero and Nolan Rack back from last year. They started every other game with the 4, really good players that we had last year. And they're having great years. They're great players, great leaders. Then we have Braden Bendick, who is up from the JV team, who helps us a lot. He's a very talented kid. And then we have Jonas Pruitt, who hasn't played for a couple of years, but he's a good athlete off the soccer field. Will Giesbricht, who can shoot the basketball, and again, he didn't play last year. And then Kenny Castrian, who is actually a transfer from Avon but didn't play basketball. But he hasn't played, organized basketball in several years. So it's kind of a mix of guys. So they have come together, they understand their roles. We just have to deal with a lot of those, usually you call them freshman mistakes, but we've got guys that just don't have that experience. But our 3 guys, Nolan, Nate, and Braden, really step up. They do a great job from a leadership standpoint, and they've been playing great. They can shoot the ball, they can defend, they're good athletes, understand the game. So there are 3 leaders on the floor, and we rely a lot on them.
What are some keys to victory tonight against Firelands?
Well, I think the first thing is we've got to be able to deal with their physicality. I always tell our guys are coming off, the cross-country courses and the soccer field, and we're playing against guys that are coming off the football field. So The big thing is going to be rebounding. We really emphasize that. We don't have a lot of size, so we need all 5 guys, including our guards, to rebound. So if we can at least somewhat match their physicality, I think we'll be in the game. And then we've got to slow the game down. Because we have a 6-man rotation. We just don't have the depth to go up and down with the team. So I would expect them to pressure us. If we can break pressure and be disciplined to get good offensive possessions, be efficient on offense, and then get back on defense and make them beat us from the perimeter. We're obviously going to have hands on Max, Stinson, and even Fortner. Will shoot a 3 once in a while, and even Holt off the bench. But I think if we can keep them out of the paint and we can rebound the ball, then I think we have a shot.
Coach, who are going to be the 5 starters for you tonight?
Well, obviously we've got the 3 guys that we talked about. We've got Nate Otero, Nolan Rack, and Braden Bendick, and then Jonas Pruitt and Kenny Castrion.
Coach, thanks for giving us some time. Good luck. We hope to talk to you in the postgame.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys doing this game. We're excited about that. Yeah, so hopefully the game will go well.
Absolutely. You can always watch it on YouTube over and over again, Coach. That's Al Januzzi giving us some time in the Coach's Corner, presented by Great Lakes Basketball, trained with the AAU coach. That's Jay Valadez out in Avon. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to the head coach from the Firelands Falcons. That's Colin Myers coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Good evening and welcome into the Great Lakes Basketball Coach's Corner. Train with the best, Jay Valadez. Joining us now ahead of the matchup is Firelands head coach Colin Myers. Coach, we appreciate your time. Obviously, we've hit winter break now. You guys have played a lot of conference games in a row, and now you step out of conference. What does that change or alter anything in this time of season? Still early, probably a few things to work on rotation-wise, but stepping out of conference after a successful start to conference play.
Yeah, we're really excited. It gives us a chance to look at some different lineups, try some different things offensively and defensively, and really work on our execution, get better at the X's and O's stuff right now. So that way when we get back to conference play, we have everything dialed in where it needs to be and maybe a couple new things.
Well, and you guys have done pretty well at that so far and so early as well. 3 straight wins in the LCA coming into tonight. And with that, it seems like you guys have had a really balanced scoring approach. I mean, was that the plan coming into the year, or are you still trying to find maybe a few guys that will jump to the forefront on that? What's that outlook look like?
It's not a bad thing at all. I mean, we have a lot of guys. They don't care who's getting their points, who's scoring, as long as somebody is. So you tend to get that balanced scoring attack that way when kids share the ball. They play the right way, and they play so hard. They're just trying to get a win at the end of the night and not necessarily worrying about stats. And it's it helps us get the wins.
Well, they've definitely added up so far. Heading into this game against the Patriots, they've got a few pretty good scores on their own end, and you guys have been at your best when you're at a high-scoring game. They played in a couple of low-scoring and high-scoring. What does it look like trying to set the pace for a matchup like this?
Yeah, and you just said that's the key for us is trying to set the pace offensively and defensively. Not necessarily get sped up, but go at the speed we want to, get up and down the floor. Use this big floor to our advantage and rotate some bodies in because, again, we're deep. We have a lot of capable players, a lot of kids that contribute. So, again, playing fast, getting up and down the floor and setting the pace at our pace helps us win.
And how much are you going to have to emphasize tonight? They shoot a lot of threes over on that end. It's to become their bread and butter. What is that like, trying to get that across to the players and just setting up those defensive formations?
It is a little different. Us as a team, we don't try to live by the three-pointer, but this conference, there's a lot of teams that shoot a lot of threes, so it's not necessarily something we haven't seen yet. So it's not new to us.
Firelands head coach Colin Myers joining us in the Great Lakes Basketball Coach's Corner ahead of tonight's matchup against Open Door. We'll be right back here on the Lorain County Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Lorain County Sports Network Game of the Week, as it's Open Door taking on Firelands today. Dave Rivera, Max Drummond getting ready for tip-off as we're about 6 minutes away. You just got done hearing from both of the coaches in the Coaches Corner, presented by Great Lakes Basketball. Max, you talked to the home coach here, Colin Myers, as he's going up against his former coach, and I know that's got to be pretty cool in its own.
You got that right. And right now they're chopping up, probably catching up a little bit, comparing what they've got on the court. Not too much, of course. But yeah, he's real excited heading into this winter break game, and it's stepping out of conference now after 4 straight conference games for the Falcons, and excited to see them play with a lot of pace tonight, as that's been their calling card all season. And Open Door, on the other hand, though, they can kind of do that themselves, especially with the amount of jumpers and perimeter shots they like to take.
Yeah, so Open Door, they're very balanced, as they have 3 guys that are averaging double digits. But before we get into that, let's talk about their 3-3 record. As I was talking to Coach Januzzi in the Coach's Corner, they just came off a last-second buzzer beater to win the game, thanks to Nate Otero. Steals the ball on the inbound pass and then takes it in for a layup. But before that, he let me know that they also won a buzzer beater against Oberlin. So 2 games out of the 6 they've played have come down to the final minutes, and they've been in pretty much all of their games. They're still looking for a couple guys to step up with their big 3, because they are very young. But overall, I think this could be a pretty competitive game tonight, Max.
That's right. And even with the rotation maybe not being as deep as it was last season, they're still finding ways, and they're finding multiple ways to win games. And like you said, those guys are going to lead the charge, but they've got 46 three-pointers made as a team this season. If they can continue stressing defenses, and in this case, Firelands, make them cover the entire court, it could go a long way in leading towards a win.
So those are some keys. What do you think Firelands' keys to the game are tonight to win tonight against Open Door?
Well, I think if you have a chance to look at these roster lineups, we noticed it before the game. You pointed it out to me. Look at the size difference.
Yeah.
And that's going to be something that Firelands is going to have to – it'll be in their favor naturally. They've got a taller lineup and a few more guys with height in that rotation, but then they've got to go put that in action. They've got to get those second chance points, opportunities, and get those offensive boards, and also just close out on those threes. And I think if they're able to take advantage of that, then that'll be a big key for them here as they try to take down the Patriots.
And on the other side for Open Door, what are they going to be looking to do to defeat the Falcons tonight?
Of course, we talked a little bit about their main scorers and contributors. I believe also they seem to do better when they can kind of dictate the pace, keep it in a low-scoring bracket rather than trying to get into full track meet mode, which is something Firelands is very comfortable doing. So if you can get them out of their comfort zone and kind of keep that score, because the one loss Firelands suffered this season, they scored below 50. So if you can kind of keep them under that mark, that's something we'll watch throughout the night.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Buckeye Community Bank. Today and tomorrow, your partners for growth. Our injury report, brought to you by Lorain County Public Health, serving and supporting a healthy community, is pretty clean, as there are no notable players for either side that are out for tonight's matchup. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Smitty's Place in Elyria, as we get you set for first the visitors from Open Door, as they have 3 guys that are pretty experienced, but they're still looking for the other 2 to step up. And we'll go through the starting lineups. Braden Bendick is a 5'10 sophomore guard. He averages 12 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Nolan Rack, number 1, is a 6-foot senior guard, averaging 16 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Number 3, Nate Otero, a 5'10 senior guard, averages 15 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Number 10, Jonas Pruitt, a 5'11 senior guard, averaging 1 point, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. Pretty consistent there. And rounding out the Open Door Patriots lineup is number 24, Kenny Caterjohn, a 6-foot senior forward, averaging 3 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. They're led by head coach Alan Januzzi, a proud sponsor of Lorain County Hoops. You hear him on the football field, on the hardwood. Al's everywhere. We appreciate his support. If you need some CPA work done, please consider Alan Januzzi, a local guy It's all about the numbers, and that's what Allen specializes in. Firelands Falcons comes in with a 5-1 record, 4-1 in conference. Their starters look like this. Number 1, Elijah Zeider, a 5'11 senior guard. Number 4, Rylan Copen, a 5'11 senior guard. Number 20, Jackson Lima, a 6'2 senior forward. Number 23, Max Stinson, a 5'10 senior guard. And number 42, Aiden Fortner, a 6'3 junior forward. Your starting lineups brought to you by Smitty's Place in Elyria, where friends go to meet, as we're about 45 seconds away from getting the national anthem started and the festivities here going in this big non-conference game. Right before Christmas, Max, as we've seen, the students are really dressed up.
That's right. They're showing out, and they're showing a lot of spirit, not only for their team, but for the holidays.
So we're going to get ready to do the national anthem, brought to you by MAC AAU Basketball, Northeast Ohio's leader in player development. Shout out to Kevin McNamara, head coach of the Berea Mid-Park Lady Titans. Beautiful performance of the national anthem, as it is almost basketball time here at Firelands High School. It's going to be a good one here tonight. Let's go in between the numbers for both of the squads. We'll start first with the visiting Open Door Patriots. They just won their last game against Westlake Christian by a score of 36-34. That's the one we were telling you about, as Nolan Rack steps to the line, hits 2 big free throws to tie it up, and then Nate Otero steals the inbounds and gets the layup for the win, the walk-off win. 36-34, Open Door is victorious. They're 3-3, and they belong to the Lake Effect Conference. I don't know how many other teams are in that. They might just be going independent early on. They come into tonight's matchup scoring 51 points per game, and they're allowing 44 points per game. They are shooting 68% as a team from the charity stripe, which is a huge advantage. And they come in with 11 steals per game as a team. So defensively is where Coach Al Januzzi is going to want to hang his hat. As you mentioned, he wants to slow this game down with Firelands in their height.
Well, that's what's interesting. They give up 44 points a game. That's actually the same amount Firelands gives up. And it's just the reason their record maybe doesn't reflect more success from that is their offense is trying to catch up a little bit. But you mentioned the free throw percentage as a team. They're led by Nolan Rack, who shoots 90% from the line. So especially in those late game situations, it's helped them win games. Could come into play tonight.
On the other side for Firelands, they just beat Black River on the road, 74-50. As we mentioned, they're 5-1, 4-1 in the LCA. Their only loss was in overtime against Oberlin. They come in averaging 60 points per game and giving up 44. Firelands in their home whites with the red trim. Open Door in the blue unis with the white trim, as we are about set to get things going. Our opening tip-off is brought to you by Lorain County Community College. It's your year. Your class is your future.
Of course, real excited to see how their basketball team, the Commodores, end up faring this season as well. They're getting things going too.
Absolutely. You can watch them on YouTube at LCC Athletics. We've been watching quite a few of the games at the Rivera household. It's time to get things going here. Jumping it up is going to be Open Door winning the tip. And they're going to get things going first. As Firelands has the ball now. That's Max Stinson with it. Elijah Zeider now in the corner. That's Ryland Copen.
I was waiting to see if they'd swing it around. Right now, Open Door hanging around that paint a lot, trying to restrict Fortner's size.
Absolutely. Jackson Lima had his shot blocked. It'll stay here with the Falcons.
Well, we harped on it all pregame about the size, and right there, great job by Caterjon coming in and swatting that one away.
Zeider's your inbound man, gets it to Stinson. Up ahead to Ryland Copen. Stinson. As you said, Open Door packing the paint right now. They're going to give Firelands whatever they want, but it's going to be from behind the arc. Down low. Lima shot, or excuse me, that's Zeider. It's no good. Rebound controlled by Max Stinson. Copen for three. It's good. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Our first three-pointer of the game. Ryland Copen.
When you figured it was just a matter of time before they put one up, I mean, so often throughout that possession, Open Door is giving it to him, and right there, Copen takes advantage.
Nate Otero controls the ball for Open Door. Working against Stinson. Now gives it to Braden Bendick. Otero at the top of the key.
Right now, clearly seeing a different strategy on defense from Firelands. They're comfortable with this man-to-man set right here.
Man-to-man set as the pass from Otero is off the fingertips of Jonas Pruitt. It'll be a turnover out of bounds. Here come the Falcons, up 3-0. Copen thought about a three again. Aiden Fortner, skip court pass to Stinson from behind the arc. He misses everything. Rebound by Bendick. Nate Otero now working against Copen. It's 3-0 in favor of the Firelands Falcons. Nice defense there by Copeland. And Ryland Copen going to take it coast to coast with the left hand, and it's good. 5-0 in favor of Ryland Copen.
An outstanding job setting that pace early. He wasn't willing to wait for anybody to set anything up. He saw a lane to the basket there in transition, made sure to take it.
Open Door having some problems getting the ball in bounds, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Open Door as Jackson Lima got his hand on it.
So not only when we've seen Firelands on offense being able to own the paint almost and force a lot of attention down it right there in getting the getting the offensive possession started. They're using that wingspan to block it off.
Bendick down low, and that's Caterjon with the easy deuce. That's Open Door's first basket. Shot from Firelands, that's Jackson Lima. Rebound, Fortner, count it. The big man gonna go to the line for the and one.
And he is, and we can expect to see him try to get a lot of those looks tonight down low, and already 2 offensive boards for this Falcons team, and none already.
Foul goes on Nate Otero, his first, team's first, and Aiden Fortner hits a good old-fashioned three-point play. 8-2 now in favor of Firelands. Full court press being applied here by Firelands. Bendick has it now for Open Door, gets it down low. That's Nolan Rack who missed it.
Well, it's a good job running with the offense there and just trying to get an open look, just not able to finish it off.
Stinson has it, now to Copen. Thought about a three. Stolen, Otero behind the back. Jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound Copen up ahead to Stinson.
And that steal from Otero, get used to it. He averages nearly 5 a game.
Lima drives baseline, and he's fouled by Kenny Catterjohn. It's going to be his first. It's Open Doors' second personal of this first quarter.
Well, with how crowded the paint is and now some of the foul trouble, we could see them get in here. Still halfway to go in the first. Got to wonder how they'll attack out of this inbound pass. They could obviously find a perimeter shot with all the attention down low, or let Aiden Fortner try to force one up, draw a foul.
Checking in for the Patriots, number 2, Will Gesbrook. We're going to call a jump ball on that. And possession will go to Open Door, as he was tied up in the beginning before he muscled through. Otero being guarded by Max Stinson. Nice matchup you're going to see all night long between two seniors. Otero, very experienced for Open Door.
And he got a lot of minutes in their postseason run last year, so it's no shocker to the Open Door folks. He's playing so well.
Three-pointer is no good. Pushed up ahead, that's Zyder. Almost lost his footing. Rylan Copen's there, no good, in and out. Controlled by Will Gesbrook. Checking in for the Firelands is going to be Carson Lima, as well as number 30, Logan Holt.
Yeah, and right now with this lineup, Holt, you don't sacrifice any more size, and honestly, the rotation might be a little taller now with both him and Fortner out there.
Kenny Catterjohn checks back into the ballgame. He's a 6-foot senior for Open Door, number 24. That's Nolan Rack with the ball. Now giving it up to Gesbrook. Back to Rack in the corner, driving baseline. Finds Otero, shut off, pump fake, no good. And it's going to be to the Firelands Falcons.
Well, him forcing up that shot originated from a great job by Rylan Copen stepping over and closing off an open look.
Anthony Januzzi in the house tonight, former graduate of Open Door, currently an Ashland Eagle. Shot is missed for Firelands as Otero loses the handle out of bounds.
Already the third turnover for the Patriots, so that half-court press is applying a lot of pressure on them right now, and you see Januzzi trying to get them to push that pace a little bit, get out in front of that, and avoid those mistakes.
Got some LCA coaches in the house as well, Max, as we notice Brookside coaching staff here. Head coach Larry Babbix, assistant coach Brian Kelly.
Well, it's already looking like Firelands Brookside. It came down to those two last year. Maybe could be that way again. We'll have to see.
Absolutely. Firelands leading early, 8-2. Fortner doing whatever he wants in the middle. And one again. See who they're going to give this foul to. It's going to go on Kenny Catterjohn. That's his second. It's Open Doors' third. Fortner's going to head back to the line. Nice touch for the big man. 6'3" junior, Max.
And he's stepping up nicely so far, and he's going to possibly force some rotation changes and shuffling around for this Open Door team if he keeps this work up.
Otero has it now, up to Nolan Rack. Down low, trying to get it to Catterjohn. Tried the skip court pass and hit the undercarriage of the backboard. And that thing is still shaking.
that showed he had a lot of oomph on that, just couldn't get through.
I think Coach Januzzi's seen enough. He's going to take a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll take it as well. Don't go anywhere. It's the Lorain County Sports Network. Welcome back to YouTube. We remind you guys, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to Lorain County Sports Network. It's free. We bring you live coverage every single week thanks to our sponsors here. And we're spotlighting the athletes that play the game. After the timeout, it's 11-2 in favor of Firelands. They have the ball. Stinson from downtown off the front iron. Copen cleans it up, and it's good. Copen, he's got 7 right now. He leads everyone.
And now they're just continuing to rack up the offensive boards. They're being very dominant down there right now, and it's led to this big lead to open the game.
Braden Bendick, a 5'10 sophomore guard, number 0, has got to get involved for open door, as they just have 1 basket so far. He comes in averaging 15 points per game as Stinson makes his way up the bleachers towards us.
He went past even the student section that time.
Got the Fireland Falcons girls team here. And as we mentioned, a lot of Santa Clauses in the stands.
Yeah, man, a couple Grinches as well.
Yeah, a couple Grinches. Got a couple elves. Even got Ed Vereen sporting the Santa Claus hat out here today. Everybody in the holiday spirit as we're just 2 days away from Christmas. Nolan Rack's fadeaway jumper is off the mark, controlled by Stinson. Up ahead, layup is off the mark, too strong. Rebound, Max Stinson clears it up, as that was Cameron Mulika who missed it, and Stinson gets his first basket of the night.
Well, I don't want to sound like a broken record or reemphasize the same point too many times, but once again, another second chance opportunity and bucket converted for the Falcons.
Firelands are trapping the ball handlers on the wing. Rack raises up, and it's no good. Rebound by Carson Lima. In the corner, that's Cameron Malika. And it hit the, what did it hit, Max? It hit the strap?
It appears that way because it definitely hit off the
back
of the rim, but
it didn't seem like it hit the side or anything.
They're definitely airing out those 3-pointers here. That's already their, see now, 6th attempt from beyond the arc.
They're going to let them fly. As Otero loses the handle, and right now nothing is going right if you're an Open Door Patriot fan. Checking into the ballgame is Lucas Green, a 6'1" sophomore guard. And also is number 5, Evan Gargas, 6'3" senior forward. So tons of size here for the Firelands Falcons.
And it's evident, it's got this Open Door team a little flustered. They got to settle in, get a couple of their guys a few more opportunities to get the ball up and see if they can start cutting into this 13-point deficit.
Malika off his leg.
Jonas Pruitt coming off the bench, making a great play like that. That's exactly what you need right now when a couple of your guys are struggling to get going. Somebody else got to step up, and right there, Pruitt makes a little impact on the game here.
Nolan Rack gets it back to Otero. We're under a minute to go in this first quarter, and I'm guessing Open Door wants this thing to end as fast as possible so they can get a fresh start in the second quarter, as they only have 1 field goal in the ballgame. Nolan Rack controls it. Out ahead, that's Jonas Pruitt to Bendick. Spinning, shot is off the mark, as Bendick was in trouble facing 3 Firelands Falcons. Corner shot, Malika. Boom. Nothing but the bottom of the net there for Cameron Malika.
And that's a great job just setting up in transition, and nobody from Open Door was able to find him. He didn't even hesitate to put that shot up.
Wow, 18-2. Otero takes it coast to coast, and his shot is blocked. And that's how this first quarter of action is going to end in favor of the Firelands Falcons. 18-2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on YouTube. It's Lorain County Sports Network Game of the Week. Shout out to Ty Stillman running the musical selections here today. It's a Christmas R&B type of night, as we got the Christmas rap music on right now. We'll be back here next Monday night as well, as the boys are going to be battling for the Stillman Cup. I'm talking about Vermillion versus Firelands, a little backyard brawl. We'll be here. 7 o'clock is the tip on December 30th. Pass is knocked out of bounds, but it's going to stay here with Firelands to Open Doors' dismay.
On the tough spot that Open Door finds themselves in right now, they got to get these main guys who are their stars more involved, and great play and defense right there.
There you go. Defense can start your offense up when things aren't dropping, and let's see if Open Door's able to capitalize. That's Jonas Pruitt. Gives it to Otero now. Bendick to Rack. Those are their big three. Jonas Pruitt. Skip pass to Otero. Now Bendick has it at the top of the court. Let's see what Bendick can get going. Only a sophomore, but has shown he's able to step up. Here he goes. Floater. It's on point. Braden Bendick.
I got no idea how Otero was able to find him or even see him in that pass lane, but pulled it off and get a much-needed basket to break up this run.
Lima down low, takes it out to Copen for three. It's Ryland's second three-pointer of the night. He's got 10 of the 21, folks. Otero controls it now for Open Door. Nolan Rack from downtown. No good. Lima. That's Carson Lima, the rebound. Lucas Green has it. Now to Malika. For three, it's off the mark. Copen's gonna try another three. It's good. Jeez, he's on fire. Holy Toledo.
I mean, he's already got 12 just on the three-pointers, a couple baskets inside the arc as well. It's been a hot start for him.
Oh, that was a three. They gave him the three, so he's got 13. Another one, fly and let it go, let it go. Heat check. Firelands dialing it up, 27-4 as everything is falling. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on YouTube. Timeout called by Al Januzzi to stop the bleeding, Max.
Yeah, absolutely need to take one there. Try to get these guys under control. Just do what you can to get back in the flow of things, because right now, these shots, they're not only happening on back-to-back possessions, but they're able to get some turnovers for us at midcourt as Firelands, and they're just turning around right away. They're not even really getting into sets. It's just a 7-second offense where you can find the first open look.
5 triples so far for the Falcons. And it's 27-4 in favor. Open Door has the ball. Pruitt, three, no good. Ryland Copen. That's Fortner. Pass in the corner wing is off the mark. As that was Zider. Copen again, in and out, and Bendick knocks it out of bounds. It should stay here with Firelands. Rack comes back into the ball game. Will Guestbrick's gonna have a seat for Open Door.
And as much as you want to give Rack a little rest, maybe try to reset his mindset here, you can't afford to keep him out of the game for too long, and Coach Januzzi obviously knows that.
Zyder with the inbounds to Logan Holt. It's no good, but Aiden Fortner cleans it up. Fortner's got 8. Nolan Rack has it now. Working against Lima. Pass to Bendick, measured it, knocked it down. They needed that.
That'll be the first 3 of the night made for them. Now they got to get back.
Fortner got caught under the basket, but he's there to get his own rebound. Aiden. 31-7 now. Otero to Catterjohn. Baseline, his pockets picked. Fortner up ahead to Copen. Copen, floater. No good. Controlled by Lima. And now, pass down low to Fortner, and it's good as Logan Holt gets the assist, and Aiden Fortner has a quick baker's dozen, 12 points.
Yeah, and there's just no answer for him right now, whether it's in transition. He's even being a willing passer, finding guys out on the perimeter to set up. I mean, he's obviously not leading the offense right now in scoring, but he has been the catalyst.
Nolan Rack throws it up, no good. Open door looking for a foul. They haven't even been to the free throw line yet, and to Nolan Rack's dismay, he's not going to get one there. Ball is off of Copen, and it'll go to the Patriots.
Well, as soon as I was complimenting his passing ability and his playmaking right there, he shoots one just a little over the head of his teammate. But
Stinson checks back into the ball game, and it's 33-7 here in the second quarter of play. Otero being checked by Stinson at the top of the key. Now a double team coming by the big man. Traveling violation as Otero tried to step through the double team as they sent the big man up there, Max.
yeah, you see the emotion from Stinson, and they know they're in the zone right now, and they don't plan on letting up anytime soon from the looks of it.
And you talked about this being only their second non-conference game, Max, as they opened up with 4 straight conference games.
Yeah, and I think that really helped set the tone for them. Not necessarily give them a wake-up call. They were already doing pretty well ahead of the conference slate, but yeah, they've just found their form, mid-season form, if you will.
Logan Holt bangs it down low. His shot doesn't drop, but he's going to go to the line for 2. Foul's going to go on Jonas Pruitt. That's his first. It's the team's first of the second quarter. Our free throw line's brought to you by Rewalk Law. As Holt makes the first one, give Chris Rewalk, attorney at law, a call for a free consultation.
Well, this is only going to be the 4th attempt of the night, which may not sound like a lot, but right now, Open Door, you mentioned, has no free throws.
No.
And they haven't been able to force any of those shooting fouls yet.
3 for 4 from the charity stripe is Firelands after Holt misses that one. Fortner for downtown. Oh, that's the worst. We had this conversation. What's the worst thing to happen on the basketball court? Is it getting crossed over? Is it airballing a shot? Or is it getting a wedgie?
Yeah, the wedgies, because then
The
somebody's got to go get it down, right?
Because it stops the game, of course. Fortner, lucky he's 6'3" and was able to make up for it. Here comes Open Door. Trailing big, 34-7. Bendick to Rack. Rack, spin move, baseline. And Holt came with the good help defense, but they're going to get him on the way down.
Well, we've seen a few shot attempts from Rack so far this evening, but that's the first time it really felt like he put his head down and tried to get at the rim itself, and that's when he draws the foul.
So here comes your first 2 free throw attempts from the Open Door Patriots with 2 minutes left in the first half. First one's good for Nolan Rack. Checking in, Carson Lima, as well as Evan Gargas. And the second one is good for Rack. His first 2 points of the ball game come from the charity stripe. Gargas, the inbounder, gets it into Stinson. Open Door in a full court press. Gargas breaks it. Lima, no good. And that was Jackson Lima who missed the shot out of bounds as Carson Lima and him battled to get it back. It's off their fingertips.
I was really interested to see how that full court press went because there's a lot of size. Shortest guy on the court right now for Firelands is 5'11". So they were able to break through that pretty easy, but good recovery defense by Open Door.
Nolan Rack working against Jackson Lima. Takes him off the dribble. Floater's no good. Here comes Stinson. No look pass to Gargis. And Gargis missed it. Lima. That's Carson. Carson gets his first 2 points of the night. He's a 6'2" freshman, folks, as you hear the freshman chants.
That almost energized him right there, trying to step up on some defense here on Otero.
36-9, folks, with under 2 minutes to go. And if Firelands scores a couple more baskets, you're going to be looking at a running clock coming out of the half. Open Door. Trying to get into double digits. Otero misses that one. As right now, nothing going Open Door's way. Lima, pass down low to Stinson with the reverse layup. Max Stinson, the veteran, feels like he's been here forever.
It looked like on that pass, I mean, it could have gone to either one of them, and then the other just set the third one up. I mean, right now, they're just struggling on defense.
Vargas with the steal. He's got the ball. Layup with the left hand. Looks good, son. I like it. As Evan Gargis converts. Bendick took a hard fall, so he's going to come out. And Catterjohn is going to come in. Kenny, who has 2 points tonight. We're under a minute to go. It's a 31-point deficit. 35 in that running clock will be in effect coming out of the third quarter.
And bringing Catterjohn in, maybe with the 2 fouls, you'd like to hold him till the third, but you got no choice right now with to choose off your bench here to come in for Bendick.
Gesprick is your inbounder, number 2, being checked by Zider. Falcons just going to fall back as Colin Myers says, let's just drop back into a man-to-man. Under a minute to go here. Rack at the top. Now Otero. Driving. Pump fakes. Catterjohn. That's Will Gesprick. Stole it. Stinson. Leads the fast break from the elbow. In and out, no good. Nate Otero corrals it with 22 seconds left. Being guarded by Zider. Catterjohn underneath, no good. There is a garbage can on that basket, and it is closed. As the lid has got all the shots blocked right now. 40-9 is your score at the half. As we head into our Health Markets Insurance halftime show brought to you by local agent Jeff Allison in Amherst. You can check him out online at jeffallison.insurance.com. We'll be right back here on YouTube as it's 40-9 in favor of Firelands. Don't go anywhere. back into the Health Markets halftime show, presented by Jeff Allison of Health Markets Insurance in Amherst. If you're uninsured, what are you waiting for? Open enrollment is closed, but maybe you need to find insurance on your own. That's where my guy Jeff Allison comes into play. Check him out in Amherst. Jeff Allison of Health Markets Insurance, a local guy, proud sponsor of local basketball. As we get into some of the numbers, courtesy of our friend Alan Januzzi, CPA, it's all about the numbers. Coach is not going to want to hear them, Max, because they're not very good. Let's start with those open door Patriots. Just 3 players have scored here today. Braden Bendick with 5, Nolan Rack with 2, Kenny Catterjohn with 2. They have had 2 free throws on the night. They are 100% 2 for 2. Have not hit, or they have hit 1 3-pointer so far today. That was from Braden Bendick. They've had quarters of 2 in the first and 7 in the second to give them 9. On the other side for Firelands, their scoring looks like this, a lot more balanced. Carson Lima, 2. Evan Gargas, 2. Max Stinson, 4. Cameron Malika, 7. Aiden Fortner with 12. And leading all scorers here tonight is Rylan Copen. They are 3 for 4 from the free throw line, and they've knocked down 5 3-pointers, all coming here in that first half as they were just raining down threes early and often. They had quarters of 18 in the first and 22 in that second to give them the lead, 40-9. We got Nate Draga in the house, former Fireland Falcon here. Assassin last year. Max, let's go through the rest of the numbers because you have all those interesting ones that we like to hear.
Yeah, and these ones, it'll really open it up a little bit and kind of show where this game has gone wrong for Open Door. So Firelands down low. We talked about the size advantage coming into this game, and it's lived up to that moniker that we put on it. So far, 10 offensive boards already for the Falcons. And if you look over at the Patriots, they have 5 rebounds total, and they haven't been able to secure any of their misses, so they haven't gotten those second chance opportunities that we've seen Firelands get. Also, the full court press, it is paying huge dividends for the Falcons, already forcing 6 turnovers. And I mean, the big brother, big sister rebound report, that one we usually save until the end of the game, but it's been so evident here. 19 total boards, and it's not even like it's one guy. It's not even like it's just Aiden Fortner. No, there's so many guys getting involved on that end for Firelands, and it's just made this score balloon out to what it is because all the second chances they're getting.
Absolutely. We'll be giving out some awards here after the game as our Elevation Training Center Hustle Award. Also our Hoop Tech Player of the Game. And a lot of other interesting things as Mr. Basketball, there's been 2 nominees so far in this season, and there's been 2 girl nominees for Miss Basketball. Who have you been impressed with so far, Max, in this young season?
Well, we got the opportunity to see her last week at Wellington, Brooke Lempool. I mean, she's obviously a rebound machine and
absolutely
puts up her own shots once again. So definitely keep an eye on her. We've also on the boys' side, for us, we've got to see a few of those matchups so far, and I mean, there's several candidates, but it feels a little more wide open than it did maybe last season, where we had our main 2 suspects, if you will. But I'd say
I say the boys is probably a 2-headed race with Nolan Wechter and Jaden Crutcher that you've seen already. The girls, it's a little bit more complicated as there's not one girl that's per se head and shoulders above the other, but there's maybe girls that have different strengths and weaknesses per se, and they use them to their advantage. We've nominated 2 girls, Kendra Hardwick, who's here tonight, Maya Rivera from Elyria Catholic, and we're interested to see a few others that are going to be nominated coming up in the weeks. Brooklyn Barber just came back from Keystone from a torn ACL. She's looked good in her first 2 games back. There's a couple girls. in Lorraine that have been making some waves as well. Simone Witt just recently named a Player of the Week candidate. She's had a few good games in a row. So I think the girls' Miss Basketball is going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun race to see who can continue to put up numbers that they've put up early on in that 22-game season. Doesn't count in the playoffs, but they're going to vote before the regular season's over, and that's when it counts.
Well, it's one thing if you can do it out the gate where maybe teams don't know who to expect as the leading option, but yeah, once you become the #1 scoring option, teams key in on you. Like you said, you can keep that going.
And remember, it's voted on by all of the media members here in Lorain County. We only have one vote. Firelands is going to start the ball here in this third quarter, and let me just tell you, they don't have any starters in, as it's a completely different starting lineup for Firelands with this big 31-point lead. Colin Myers is going to go into his bench as Malika gets that one to fall. He's got 9 off the bench so far. Nolan Rack, Bendick, Otero. Now Rack, 3 from the wing is off the mark. And Green taps it around. It's going to be out of bounds, and it'll stay here with open door. That was Lucas Green getting a hand on it.
And expect to see a lot more shots like that from Rack and Otero and a few of the others just beyond the arc, because that's going to be the quickest way, obviously, for them to get back into this ball game.
Lucas Green with the nice steal there of Otero, as he's got Malika on the side, and shot is up, but no good. Foul's going to go on Braden Bendick. That's his first, team's first of this third quarter. It's going to send Cameron Malika to the line. He's a 5'11" senior guard who's making some waves. First free throw attempt is off the mark in this third quarter. And the second one is good. 43-9 now. 32-point advantage.
You know, one thing that stood out to me is when you get caught in these situations against a taller lineup, sometimes you slow down because there's not enough ball movement, but they've been moving without the ball a lot. It's just a lot of closing out and a lot of quickness and length by the Falcons to shut off these passes.
Fouls on Logan Holt, number 30. It's his second, team's second of the quarter, or excuse me, team's first of the quarter. Inbounder is Pruitt. Gets it to Bendick. Pruitt thought about getting it to Catterjohn down low, and he's a little frustrated he didn't get the inbound pass. Now Rack. Back to Otero. And we have a foul on the ground. Should go on Lucas Green. And it is. It's Lucas's first. It's been a pretty clean game so far.
That's right. We haven't seen too many trips to the line, and there's a lot of more turnovers maybe than forced fouls in these transition situations.
Kickball. Pruitt. Got to do something with it. Gets it to Rack. And Rack's over and back. Frustrating night here for the Patriots as nothing is going their way. Turnover there. Lucas Green controls the ball for Firelands.
Yeah, with a lot of these
Holt.
rotations.
Go ahead, you're good. Logan Holt knocks down a three-pointer. What were you going to say? Finish on your
Holt
on your
surprised me with that, but yeah, even these reserves, they're running the offense to a T right now, and it's going to build up even more experience off that bench than they already have.
Yeah, Firelands doing a good job running their system and their plays. As Catterjohn's shot is no good. Here comes Lucas Green up ahead. Holt and Logan bangs it in, no good, but they're going to call a foul on Carson Lima. The 6'2" freshman's going to pick up his first as he was trying to get in there for the rebound. Where is Firelands getting this height from? Because
Who would I
they
want
had a 6'2" freshman right there, and they've got a lot more height on this roster.
There's a few names to recognize from their football team, and definitely showed up there too.
as Bendick's shot rolls in and out. And that's one that he normally knocks down. Malika to Green. And Holt fights, picks it up, and puts it in. I love Logan Holt and his face mask. Toughness at its finest. Foul's going to go on Nolan Rack. It's his first.
Well, if you ever had to wonder which player is literally getting their nose dirty, getting their hands dirty, just look no
It's
further.
the guy with the face mask.
That's right.
Old school right there. And another good old-fashioned three-point play. As Logan Holt knocks it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as if Fortner did not leave the game with Holt down low. He's filled in perfectly.
So we got a 40-point game. The clock will not stop, folks. Even with this whistle, clock is rolling. Foul's going to be on open door. Kenny Catterjohn, that's his third. Checking in for Firelands is going to be number 15. We don't have on our roster, I apologize.
When he comes in for Holt there, Holt was the one that got tied up down low with Catterjohn as they both were fighting for position there, and it just became real physical, and I think that's why both exited the game there.
You're going to see a lot of substitutions now that this one is out of hand, with everybody letting the kids play tonight. Bendick now up to Titus, who just checked in the ball game. And that is Will Gesprecht for three. It's no good. Gargis, Evan, gets the rebound and controls the ball. Takes it coast to coast, and that one's no good. Lima's tip-in is off the mark. Ball will stay here with Firelands. What about the tip-in there from the freshman?
Well, that just shows being active on the boards, not sitting around waiting for something to happen. And that's how you're going to get noticed by these coaches.
Trying to get the inbounds play going as Malika misses everything. Saved by Lima. Here comes Green to Gargis. Finds Malika down low. Shots blocked by Bendick. And when Malika tried to toss it back in, he was out of bounds.
Well, that was a great find.
49 to 9. Bendick controls it. 2:30 to go in a running third quarter clock. 2 days before Christmas. For Firelands, it came early. As open door has gift wrapped this one. Foul is going to go on Lucas Green, his second, team's fourth of the quarter. Nolan Rack was the intended party for the Patriots. Stolen. Here comes Evan Gargis. Up ahead to Green off of Fireland's teammate's face.
Yeah, normally in those spots, you try to hit it off the opposing team, see if you can get a bounce off them right there. He's hoping his teammate was ready for it, just couldn't get those hands up in time.
Right off of the face of a teammate, and it's going to go to open door. Here comes Bendick. Contested shot is no good as Carson Lima said not up in here.
Wow, we're seeing a lot of these rainbow passes from Gargis right now, and he's delivering them like a quarterback almost.
Evan Gargis has it. Now it's Lima. Now Malika.
Like I said, they had an advantage right there, but great job stepping up on defense by Gesprecht.
We're under a minute to go, folks, in this third quarter of play. Malika, Gargis. Entry pass down low, not a foul is going to be first as Will Gesprecht is going to pick up the foul as he was undersized working against 15, who I apologize I don't have him on my roster.
Well, Guestbrecht, they've been trying to target him there, but he's holding his ground, even if it means committing a foul there. He's not going to let him score down low.
Evan Gargis with 20 seconds left to go. Spin move, left hand, no good. Rebound, Rack. Up ahead, Otero. Mid-range jumper, no good. Lima, under 4 seconds left. Up ahead, and that's going to do it for this third quarter of play, as it is 49-9, folks. And let me just give you guys a quick math lesson. Open Door didn't score in the third quarter.
Definitely a tough go at it. They came close to matching their total shot attempts in that first half, but not able to knock one down.
49-9 is your score. Running clock. We'll be out of here real quick, folks. Don't go anywhere. It's the Lorain County Sports Network game. Mr. Grinch is in the house tonight, in the stands and on the court, as Firelands has played Grinch all night to Open Door. They didn't score in the third quarter, folks. It's hard to watch if you're a Patriot fan, as you feel bad for some of the Open Door kids out there right now. Just nothing going their way. Shots not falling, which happens in basketball. They're giving it their all. They're running their plays like they're supposed to. Bendick from downtown off the mark. Lucas Green controls it. It's a running clock, as we mentioned, so fourth quarter should go very fast. Nate Otero looks visibly frustrated out there, the senior for the Patriots.
And he hasn't been able to find the same success he has all season coming into this game. And I mean, he's usually the type of player, if it's not scoring, he can still find it with some rebounds, setting his teammates up through assists, and getting involved on defense. It just hasn't been his night.
Otero being guarded by Holt. Trying to get it in low. Finds Pruitt for three, and it's blocked. Rebound by Lima, up to Lucas Green. Green controls the ball as Otero guards him. It's number 3 versus number 3.
And even through all these matchups tonight, we've seen still man-to-man almost the entire way from Open Door.
We'll see if we can get number 15's name, Max, when they say it from the PA. Nate Otero picks up the foul. I don't think they said his name. In and out, no good. We'd like to give the kid his due, number 15. I apologize, I just don't have him on our roster.
Well, if they did, Open Doors, sideline, cheerleaders, making it tough to hear right now.
Yeah, they definitely didn't say it. As he makes the free throw attempt.
I'll tell you what, that whole bench erupted when he did, so his teammates very happy to see him out there clearly.
Congratulations. Nolan Rack. Now to Bendick. Baseline, Bendick's reverse layup is rejected by Holt. Rack on the wing, working against Gargis. And I think they're gonna get Gargis for the foul. And that is gonna be on Gargis. It's his first. It's the team's first of this Fourth quarter of play. Otero gets the inbounds, being guarded by Lima. He's going to pull up for three. It's off the mark. Holt with the rebound up to Evan Gargas. Lima. That's Carson Lima. He's got 4 points on the night.
And for me, just in ninth grade, that looked pretty smooth and pretty comfortable on that drive right there.
He's a freshman, as you hear the students saying. As Firelands going to improve to 6-1 on the year. Open Door's going to drop to 3-4 before Christmas. They have a foul on the ground. Let's see what they get. I think they're going to get Holt for the foul. Yep. Logan Holt. It's his second. It's a team second. Nolan Rack to Bendick. Back to Rack. And when he caught it, he was still out of bounds.
Like you say, it's just been one of those nights. And for Open Door, I know right now, obviously, the scoreboard is its own thing. Don't want to focus too much on that. But their next game, I mean, they stay playing an LCA team and one like Brookside that's also going to hit you with a barrage from the three-point line and a lot of pace. So this was a good game to, because it's similar style. So you won't be completely caught off guard for next week. And you just got to go back to the drawing board and put this one behind you.
Otero and Open Door steal it up to Rack for three. Lets it fly, no good. Rebound controlled by Carson Lima. Here comes Evan Gargas to Holt in the lane. Up and under, no good. And rebounds battled, and it'll go to Open Door. Checking in is number 32, Cameron Malika for the Firelands Falcons. Under 3 minutes to go, 2:46 to be exact, folks. As this one is in the books, per se. Both teams going to be in action on Saturday. As we mentioned, the Brookside Cardinals coaching staff here doing their homework, as that's who Firelands is going to be playing on Saturday. And it's going to be a very interesting game in the LCA. Right now, it's Keystone, Firelands, and Brookside who are battling it out for the top spot. Number 15 gets a basket. He now has 3 points on the night. We missed it again. It's 54-9. We're trying to find you his name from the PA guy, but
sometimes with the half headset,
yeah,
we muffle ourselves out, I suppose.
Otero's working against Green, and he's going to pass it. Now Rack has it. Three-pointer from Otero. It's no good. We heard a familiar sound for the first time here in this Firelands gym. We've been waiting to hear it, but Otero misses that one. Cameron Malika. Under 2 minutes to go, folks. Well, I'd like to see Open Door get a basket here in the second half, because right now they're in jeopardy of 2 quarters.
And they've got obviously a few of their starters out there right now, a few not on the court, but even with that, they've got Rack and Otero, very talented guys, and imagine they would like to see one more if they can get it back here.
I don't know if we're gonna, as it's under a minute to go, and Bendick picks up, or they're gonna give it to Otero. It's Nate's third. So our Hoop Tech player of the game is going to be Rylan Copen. We'll talk to Coach Colin Myers as we head to our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts post-game show. I'm hungry. Feed your inner hippie with some delicious, groovy donuts from Peace, Love, and Little Donuts in Avon. Nolan Rack finally gets a basket in the second half for Open Door, as they were in jeopardy of going 2 quarters without a basket, folks. as we're under 10 seconds to go, and that's how this one's going to end. 54-11 in favor of Firelands. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to track down Colin Myers and our Hoop Tech player of the game, Rylan Copen, as we head to our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts post-game show here on YouTube. Welcome back to Lorain County Sports Network Game of the Week. It's our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts post-game show. We remind you guys, feed your inner hippie as we get you some delicious donuts. What's up, man? Rylan Copen joining us. He's our Hoop Tech player of the game. You had 13 points tonight unofficially,
Yes, sir.
but you really came out and set the tone
Yes,
for
sir.
the game. That's why we picked you. What was going right, man? Everything just seemed to be dropping. You had 3 3-pointers early on.
Man, that was just a good game. You know, we went over their plays before the game, and we just executed. I mean, that's all there really was to it. The team we played against, it was more personal, you know, because with like the coaching staff and stuff. But
Yeah.
it was a good game.
There was a lot of storylines in
Yes,
the
sir.
game that you're talking
Exactly.
about, as Coach Januzzi was a former coach here, and he also coached the new head coach of the Firelands Falcons, who was Colin Myers.
Yes,
so
sir.
you guys had a little bit of,
Oh, yeah.
of extra momentum heading into this game.
Oh, yes,
Talk
sir.
about the atmosphere. The kids are dressed up in all their Christmas gear. 2 days before Christmas, Santa came early.
Man, the atmosphere was crazy. This was definitely playing here was great. You know, the 3 years ago we played there, and I was just a freshman, but playing here, it means a lot. It means a lot.
So you're a senior this year, and you can tell that you have a lot more experience and a lot more confidence on the court. What did you do in the offseason to prepare you for your senior year?
Well, we got to work. I mean, in the summer we went to like 9 or 10 tournaments and just we got to work. Us as a team, not even just me, like all of us.
Well, and looking at that second half, obviously you built up a lot of the work in the first half. Talk about some of your teammates out there and what that's going to do moving forward for you guys as a whole.
Man, I love our team chemistry. That's like our favorite thing about us, in my opinion. I mean, all of us are like, we're all guys, you know, like we're all friends and like on and off the court. It's just, that's like what keeps us going, in my opinion.
Certainly so. And can you give us the name of your teammate, number 15? He was doing a lot. You guys seem to be fired up when he made a play.
Number 15?
Yeah.
Do you know his name? Because we didn't have it on the roster either. Not to put you on the spot, Rylan. We're sorry.
I don't keep track of the numbers.
No, we got you. But, yeah, you guys were electric on that bench. I think you were matching the student section there in the second half.
But overall, man, you guys, defensively, you held them to single digits every quarter. Talk about the intensity and how that really played a part in tonight's matchup.
Especially our defense. Our defense was crazy. I mean, we had almost a scoreless half.
Yeah.
We held them 2 points at like the last 20 seconds. But yeah, that was crazy. Our defense was insane today, you know. We were stealing.
If you had to pick one thing to work on heading into your matchup on Saturday with Brookside, their coaching staff was here. They were scouting you guys. What do you think you need to clean up before that big matchup?
I would just say, like, our perimeter defense, because Brookside, they can shoot the ball really well, you know. And we haven't really played a team like that yet, so that's kind of what we're working towards this week.
Rylan Copen is our Hoop Tech player of the game. He has 13 points tonight unofficially. He's going to get himself a shirt courtesy of our friends Big Frog and Avon. You
Thank
also
you.
are going to get a free 1-month membership to Hoop Tech. So whenever you want to use it, it's good to go, maybe for the offseason, maybe for college coming up. But we'll get a picture with you. You also get your certificate. We want to say congratulations. You're our Hoop Tech player of the game.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Rylan Copen, our Hoop Tech player of the game, as he had a phenomenal night tonight, especially shooting the ball early with 3 3-pointers as we get ready for head coach Colin Myers, who's going to be stepping up and giving us some minutes here. Let's go over the stats per se for Open Door. They're not pretty. Braden Bendick with 5 points, Nolan Rack with 4, and Kenny Catterjohn with 2. They had quarters of 2 in the first, 7 in the second, 0 in the third, and 2 in the fourth to give them 11. And they only shot 2 free throws the entire game today. And I know that's something that Coach Januzzi is going to point out. Just not getting to the line often enough offensively as they drop to 3 and 4 tonight with this loss. On the other side for the Firelands Falcons, well, Carson Lima had 4. We just talked to Rylan Copen, who had 13. Evan Gargis with 2. Max Stinson with 4. Logan Holt with 6. Cameron Malika with 10 off of the bench. And Aiden Fortner led everybody tonight with 15. The big man, we could have gave it to him as far as player of the game goes as well. But they had quarters of 18 in the first, 22 in the second, 9 in the third, and 5 in the fourth. Firelands looked really impressive tonight, Max.
They did. I mean, all phases of the game. And you heard Rylan talk about it a little bit there. Is there was just nothing that did not go right because they were very effective. They were also picking a lot of efficient shots, and then even the ones that weren't able to drop for them, I mean, their teammates there to pick each other up, and that goes for the first and second half, which that just goes to show what kind of team culture they have going on. I imagine might hear a little bit more about that moving forward.
Yeah, head coach Colin Myers giving us some time after the big victory. Coach, congratulations on this victory. Santa came early. Everything went right, man, from beginning to end, offensively and defensively. What were your takeaways from this game?
Yeah, I mean, the 3-ball going in early, we shot the ball very well. And again, it helps a lot. You know, we have 10, 11 guys that we can rotate in, and they're going to contribute something. And tonight, you know, from the start, I felt like everybody contributed in some way. And it got us off to a quick start, and we just never gave the momentum back.
And then defensively, man, you guys almost had a half where you didn't give up a basket, as you never let them get into double digits, as they only had single digits in each quarter. Defensively, talk about the intensity that you guys had out there tonight.
Yeah, it was huge, and rebounding is a big part of that. We really limit second chance opportunities for other teams. So, you know, if they can't rebound well, you know, it gets us in the transition, gets us playing quicker. And second chance points are huge and momentum killers. So, if we don't give any of those up, it makes our defense, get a lot more stops and harder for teams to score.
Talk about the battle within the lines. You and Coach Januzzi, a former coach for you, now going against him. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were talking before the game about that, and he coached me here for 2 years. So for him to come back here in this gym, it was his first time coaching in here, I believe.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Max?
Well, and you guys had a lot of great success this season when you were scoring in loads. Obviously, the starters played for that first half. What about that second half can you take away and really show those reserves and guys that maybe aren't in the rotation to start the game but closing out the game moving forward this season?
Yeah, again, when we're able to have, 10, 11 guys contribute the way everybody does on our team, we have full confidence in whoever's on the floor for us in our rotation. And they're able to go in there and score, pretty well too. And again, they defend very well also. So again, we have full confidence in everybody going in there that they'll get the job done.
You had inside and out working well as Aiden Fortner, the big man in the middle, 6'3" junior. He had 15 points tonight, Coach. We've seen a lot of good things from him. What were some takeaways that you saw?
Yeah, he's grown a lot this year, from last year to this year, especially as of late, the last couple games. He's a hard matchup inside. He crashes the board so hard. And a lot of those points are from offensive putbacks, and that's huge for us as a team standpoint and himself. He's able to get himself going like that, and once he gets rolling, he's hard to stop.
What do you credit your early success to this season? 6-1 start. What do you credit that to so far?
The kids, they just play so hard, and they bought in from the start. They worked hard all summer. I feel like they just play the right way, and we're going to do that. You're going to end up winning some games.
When we talked to Rylan, he said you guys were getting to work early, in the summertime, and everybody was gelling, and just the group of guys that they have here, everybody's playing for each other. Saturday is going to be a tough one against Brookside. They were here scouting you. What are your early takeaways on the Cardinals?
Yeah, our schedule doesn't get any easier from here on out, and that's the kids know that they got to show up and we got to execute every single game. We believe we can play with anybody in the conference, even the non-conference games coming up. But it's going to come down to defense against the Brookside. They're able to score the ball at a high clip, so we got to defend and limit their second chance opportunities. And if we do that, we feel like we have a good chance.
Got anything for Max?
No, it was a great game by you guys, and obviously a very complete all-around effort from that entire bench.
Colin Myers, thanks so much for giving us some time. Good luck tonight, and congratulations. We'll see you again on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep. Head coach Colin Myers giving us some time as we are in our Peace, Love, and Little Donuts post-game show. Want to thank everybody for tuning in on YouTube. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe all season long. Want to thank Chopper behind the camera. You don't get to see him very often. And, of course, Ed is our producer here on site. Merry Christmas, as well as my partner, Max Drummond, Dave Rivera. I want to say I hope everyone has a great holiday. We'll be back in action next Monday, right back here. It's the Stillman Cup, another big one. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you again. Good night from Firelands High School.